Now I'm going to give you my testimony. My message to you from the Lord. It's not from me. It's not for you so much as it is for the Lord. My message to you is from the Lord. And it'll be clear to you when you hear the testimony. It's about salvation and its miracle blessings. I need to tell you one thing right now, because if I were sitting where you are, and I could very possibly, after hearing this story, after hearing this testimony, it's not a story, I could very easily not believe it. Just like people don't believe Christ is raised from the dead. I could very easily just not believe it. But let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is all documented at the Baptist Hospital. My file is thicker than this Bible, the records. I was there for 5 weeks. I had 9.5 hours of surgery, but I did not live through all of it. And it's all documented. Everything I'm going to tell you about what happened is documented. This is not a fairy tale. This is documented. And I feel real good about that, of course, because I really do. I really want you to believe. If you don't, you can go check it out. You can also check out God right here. It's all documented. If I had one wish today, what's the angel story? Touched by an Angel. It's probably most of you have seen on TV. It's probably the only good program we've got left. It doesn't talk about Jesus, and it's not totally Christian, but it talks about God. And Monica tells everybody, God loves you. Doesn't she? My greatest wish today, if I could have my greatest wish today, other than the blessings and the wishes I've already had answered, it would be if I could stand here this moment and glow like Andrew and get your attention to the point of where you just could not do anything else but listen and watch. This would be really something. And because that's the way I feel. I mean, I'm not the angel of death, but I know the angel of death. But I believe in angels. I believe in God. I could go on too long with that. Why do I believe? Well, some people think I believe because maybe God gave me a miracle, but that's just not true. I believe before the miracle happened, because I was saved before the miracle happened. Now my belief has become, since this miracle, as I'll explain, now my belief has become a positive. Now I know beyond the shadow of a doubt that I am saved, that God is real. Now I know. I no longer just believe. I no longer just wonder. I no longer am even like some pastors who you know they're saved, they believe they're saved, but the devil's got this little old question mark hanging up here in the air. Because we're human, we have to live with this. We have to live with this. I don't think the devil can use this anymore on me because I don't see it anymore. It just isn't there, but it always was. It was always there. It's not there anymore. It's gone, gone, gone. Now my beliefs become a positive. I know God had something left for me to do for him. He restored my life so that I could give faith in my believing and my knowing to you. That's why I'm doing this testimony today. Because God wants you to know. I had a catheterization that was needed to be done because I've known that I had 2 blockages 8 months ago. I've known it for quite a few years because The last time they did an angioplasty, they got 1, and 2 they didn't get, and I don't know why. But anyway, I went to the hospital April 26th, and I'd had testimony here before, and I had prepared myself to die. And everybody says, what are you planning to die for? And I says, because I know I'm going to die. I mean, everybody's going to die. It's just, I don't know when. But I did all my preparations, and I made arrangements for my funeral at the Veterans Cemetery in that beautiful round building they have in the very center of the cemetery where they hold the services, rain, shine, or snow, hot or cold. And I made all these arrangements, taking care of my business and everything. But I wasn't planning to die with the surgery. I went in there for an angioplasty to open up 2 arteries. That's what I went for. And until they did the catheterization on the 26th, I didn't know that I had 7 blockages and a bad valve. So, and this is something I didn't do in the testimony. This is new testimony. This created a lot of problems. The surgeon spent a lot of time with Des and I explaining things after the catheterization, which happened on 26th, that they had to do surgery immediately, which was the next day. This was late afternoon, which was the next day. And that it wasn't a secure surgery, and that I would probably have a stroke. That was not going to be an uncommon thing with the severity of the surgery. So the surgery started on April 27th in the morning, I assume. There's a lot of things that I don't know. I've had my facts here as some of what I've been told and is documented. But I wasn't aware of some of these things at the time. From my previous surgery of open heart surgery, when they did the bypass, they let too big a loop in the artery that they bypassed the other artery with, and it had adhered to my breastbone or sternum. Also, my heart had also adhered due to cartilage and so on that had healed that way. So when they cut my sternum open, they also cut the artery that had been initially replaced. So now I'm going to bleed to death. As soon as they did that, the heart arrested. When the heart arrested, they had to try to get it started. So the surgeon, who has got to be a man, a great man that God sent into my life, tried to massage my heart and get it started. Because, I mean, hey, we're going to do surgery and we got to get this man on a heart-lung machine, and his heart stopped. Well, when they did that, my heart got torn. So this was a real problem. So now they had to make haste because they were unable to start the heart. They couldn't get it started again. And they needed the heart started because they need to get you on a heart-lung machine before they stop the heart. I guess everybody can understand that because we can't live without it. So they had to get it bypassed. Well, as soon as they started to bypass work, they do this by attaching the heart bypass machinery to the aorta. When they tried to do that, the aorta all fell apart. It was soft, mushy, wouldn't hold stitches. They could not hook me up to a heart bypass machine. I have no heartbeat. They had to rebuild the aorta in order to hook me up. Okay, this was going to take some time. I mean, you just don't do the major surgery. They weren't prepared to do that because that's not a normal thing. People's aortas just don't deteriorate like that. But they needed some time to do this, and all this time's going on now. No blood circulation to the brain, no heartbeat, no life support. So they rebuilt the aorta. They had to use man-made material to rebuild it. It's a large tube leaves the heart, where the blood leaves, and they had to rebuild it out of some material before they could hook me up to the machine. So now, no heartbeat, no life support. Death is absolutely inevitable. The doctor sent a message to my family, and I think Brian walked in at the same time this happened, and this is truly a gift from God, this man. And that's when my wife found this out, because everything had seemed to be going all right up until they came out and said, no, the heart had stopped, it had arrested. And only 1 out of 4 people survived surgery after a heart arrest. So they said at that time that they needed to contact the family and get them there. And in order to buy some time, I'm trying to hurry this up a little bit, Brian. In order to buy some time, buy enough time, they have a method. It's I can't think of the name of it right now. Of slowing up everything in the body with refrigeration. They have these blankets that are like refrigerator elements, and which I just found out the other day how they did this. And if they can drop your body temperature from 98.6 to 70 degrees, they can buy themselves 30 minutes of time before the body deterioration reaches the point of no return. Doesn't mean you're alive. It just means that they're going to keep the body from rotting for a few minutes. So they refrigerated it, and they dropped the temperature to 28 degrees. And by medical definition, the body is dead. They rebuilt the aorta and got me on a heart bypass machine in 26 minutes. People don't live 26 minutes with no heartbeat, no blood circulation in the body. People don't live that long. I had needed 7 artery bypasses and a valve repaired. They repaired 3 arteries, bypassed 3 arteries. They were unable to do the valve, or the rest of the arteries, the 4 arteries were not done. The valve was not done. They have to put fluid back into your body during this time also, because you'll dehydrate. And my body unfortunately refused to give up any fluids, so I started to blow up like a balloon. People saw me, said my head was like this, and no neck or nothing. This had to be a horrible thing to witness. I don't know if Brian saw me when that happened or not, but my poor wife over here did, and my children did. Okay, this fluid's built up, so this is 9.5 hours later. And now I'm on life support at this time, so the body is not, from a medical standpoint, dead after you're on the life support. It's alive. But they didn't know about the brain, of course, because the brain, they didn't know if I'd even have one of those left before this was over with. Now they've got to close. They can't do any more work because I'm exploding. They can't get any more work done that they needed to do. So they have to get out. And now they have to get me off the bypass machine. Now, to make matters as bad as they possibly can get, they couldn't get my heart started. So they could take me off bypass machine. They used 5 times the adrenaline that it takes to get a heart started. It took them an hour to get my heart started. So, of course, I was still on life support. An hour and a half, something like this, to get the heart started again.